Hello and welcome to Mythcast. I'm your host, Jesse Voctor Rain, and with me today, we're doing a triple cast. I have two other members of Mythology here with me. If you guys would like to introduce yourselves.
Well, basically, I am Wolfie, and I play Protoss.
And I am Fluttershy. I'm a Zerg player.
So, as you can see, to get the proper analysis of Game 2 of this Terran versus Protoss, I invited a Zerg. Because as we all know, no one knows more about PvT than Zerg players.
Yes, I agree.
But Game 1 was really, really interesting. I realise you guys didn't see it because I was being all selfish and doing my solo cast. But Game 1 was very much Nathan absolutely destroying Resolve. Just constant bio, constant drops, about 4,000 ghosts. But that was on Frost. We could see something a little bit different on Yonsu. It looked like on Frost that Resolve was very much looking to go for a Blink all-in and then kind of backed out of doing it. Now, Yonsu is another map that can be really, really good for Blink all-ins if you actually commit to them. So we could definitely see, for me anyway, some 7-gate Blink Stalker play. What do you reckon, Wolfie?
On this map, I think it's a bit like I'm not a big, strong player for Blink on this map, because like on this map, I just go for a proxy Stargate and just like begin hope at best. But you might as well try something different one day, and it's a pretty decent thing to do, I think, sometimes.
I've seen something really interesting, and I'd like to know what you think about it. Resolve is still doing this old style, where you get the 1 gas and stick 3 workers in it, rather than getting the 2 gas at 15 supply, with 2 workers in each. And I'm still really not sold on that. I really do prefer the 2 gas style. I mean, what's your take on that, Wolfie?
Well, my personal preferences, I prefer going for the 2 gas guises and then putting 2 probes in each. So like, I wouldn't say that it keeps them guessing, but they have to keep thinking of what you could do, because there's many options of what you could actually do. So I'm not really like a big believer in just going for like 1 gas with 3 probes, and like I most prefer going for 2 gas guises with 2 probes in each.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a sign that Resolve is perhaps an older player that took a break from StarCraft, because he seems to play this very older style of Protoss. You know, just there's a few little things that he doesn't do that have become standard within the game. And also, don't even lie to me, Wolfie. I've seen your replays. When you go, I like to go the 2 gas with 2 in each. You like to go 2 gas with 4 in each.
What? No,
because counting is difficult.
Never. Nah, times have now changed and things have now moved on. I have now officially learned to count. So, that's pretty good.
Ladies and gentlemen, this coaching was brought to you in association with Sesame Street. So Nathan going the very, very standard TVP build, where you open with 1 Reaper, go into an expand, throw down a bunker at your front, and then just add a shit ton of racks behind it. And you just get nice and safe in the early game. You build up your sick bio army, and then you drop the crap out of your opponent. So for me, the real interesting part of this game is what Resolve chooses to do. If he chooses to go the High Templar route, if he's instead going to choose to go Colossus earlier on this game, and it does look that way. We do have a Robo facility on the way and 2 extra gates going down for him behind this expansion, as opposed to the Twilight Council. So we could definitely be seeing Colossus on the way. So changing it up from how he played in Game Number 1, this Reaper from Nathan is being continually annoying. That is 1 other probe that's killed. That Reaper's up to 3 kills and will escape as well from that Stalker. So, Reapers, are they the most annoying thing in the world, Fluttershy?
Yes.
You're wrong, because you forgot about Swarm Hosts.
No. I have no problem against Wormhouse.
Well, you wouldn't. You're Zerg. You love games that last 2 hours.
That's the most annoying thing what I find in PvZ is going into the late game, the Zergs, they just pissing camp around like between 25 to 30 freaking span crawlers and just get mass swarm hosts. Oh, it drives me insane. It's just like, I'll lose the will to live and just end up attacking into it.
I love that that is now a strategy in StarCraft 2. Make your opponent lose the will to live, so that he just 1A's himself to death.
That's basically what I do, yeah. You know?
You have to be careful
Sometimes
though
works.
with that strategy against Protoss, because forcing a Protoss to 1A is normally a quick way to get yourself killed. Everyone knows that's the optimal movement strategy for all Protoss units.
Mm.
Yeah, but then we got the swarm host.
So, Resolve adding extra gases at his own base, actually getting some immortals out here, which is really strange for me. I don't tend to see that so much against Terran opponents, because they just don't deal too well with the bio. There's very much overkill when it comes to, well, just comes to massive marines. They kill marines wonderfully, but there's just always more marines than the immortals can actually kill in a decent amount of time before they die. Their fire rate is just not high enough. We're only going to see the one immortal. We do have 1-1 coming down, being chrono boosted by Resolve. He's not added any more tech so far. He's just adding more and more gateways, going up to, wow. Well, he's going up to 6 gates at this point, without any real tech behind it. And I'm a bit worried about that. I'd rather have seen him just ditch this immortal and go straight for Blink instead. With this amount of gates, just a really heavy Blink attack would be wonderful. He's starting to add more immortals, and I'm going to be honest, I don't agree with that. I really feel like Nathan can tear that apart if he's careful in how he engages. So, Starport is going to go down on the reactor. I was like, oh, do you know what I'll do? I'll bring in 2 other players. That way there won't be any dead air.
The Warp Prism! Woo! And comes with the door 2 seconds.
So, it looks like Resolve wants to be the one to perhaps do some drop shenanigans here. He is currently pathing that right across the map through this corner. So, he wants to hit the main base and start doing some drops, doing some background warp-ins. But is he going to have the time? Because Nathan's army is moving out right now. It is being watched by the Observer. It does not have medevacs there with it just yet, but they are on the way. They will finish, and with speed boost they catch up to this army pretty fast. Colossus will 100% not be ready in time to defend against this. And for me, there is no way Resolve can take and hold this 3rd base. And thanks for your input, guys. So, Warp Prism has had its trajectory change. It's not moving across the left in case it gets seen. Instead of moving down to the south, having some zealots placed in it, will instead be trying to attack at the 2nd base, the natural expansion of Nathan. But Nathan is already ready for it. Look at this. Marines, excuse me, and a Marauder all ready to deal with it. Meanwhile, that 3rd base of Resolve, no chance of it going up, and he could be in some real trouble here. All he has is the force field to defend. Great force field though, allowing him to split that army up. Good lifts though by the medevac. Photon overcharge is helping him to defend at this point. Resolve is holding for now, but once again he finds himself very much trapped on this 2-base economy, which at the end of the day, Protoss can't survive on for all that long unless they're doing an all-in. They really need the extra gas that comes from taking a 3rd base. And, well, it's not going to happen while NiftyNathan has his army parked out there.
But now I have a Colossi, so he might actually be able to kill this army.
Oh! Nexus gets killed, not even cancelled. Resolve, man. Bad move.
He has like a random probe just sat there, never moving down near the right-hand side 3rd ramp.
It's hiding.
How's that hiding? That's
It's underneath the tree.
It's hiding in front of the tree, man.
Yeah.
That's the worst hiding ever. That's just like, yeah.
Listen,
I'm gonna hide a car.
listen. This ain't called hide and seek 2, yo. This is StarCraft. Don't be
Hide and
criticising.
seek craft.
That would be amazing. Someone should make that game.
What's
But
it?
anyway, the Warp Prism's continuing to move around, and I really just don't see it doing all that much. Nathan actually has missile turrets up to defend against its current path. I love that. Just takes away the stress of worrying about it. Here come the missile turrets.
Oh,
I mean,
it's going down.
2 zealots get dropped. They will start to damage this, but I mean, what's 2 zealots? Absolutely nothing. Fantastic work there by Nathan. And once again, Resolve's finding himself without too many moves he's capable of doing. He's trying to take down the 3rd base in his other location. Meanwhile, Nathan is dropping up in the main. Colossus is going to clear this up, but this is giving Nathan a really good idea of where his opponent is and what he's doing. And right now, he was hoping to pull his army out of the way so he could perhaps get in at that 2nd base, But right now, it's just not going to happen. That army's still a bit too mobile. The first and second base is very, very close with the Colossus as well. He's able to engage. But, oh, the hide-and-seek probe gets killed.
And there's another one hiding to the far right-hand side. Woo!
It doesn't matter because his third base is going to fall if Nathan wants it to. Oh, Nathan, though, does not want to engage at this point. Needs to be careful there with the two Colossus there and the sentries. He has to be careful how he engages this. He does not want to get his army split out by those force fields. So hide-and-seek probe number 2, not doing a particularly good job of hiding, considering it was moving directly towards Nathan's bio army. And I have to say this about Nathan. This is something I've known about him for a very long time. You really do see him in his play. Fantastic sense of map control with him, especially in TVP. Like, sometimes I feel like his scouting's a bit off, but he just has this ability to control the map wonderfully. All of his Vikings are done now. He has 4 Vikings out here. Right now, there's 3 Colossus, so the Colossus is still going to be able to do some damage. Ship weapons level 1 is a long way away, so Nathan has to be careful about how he engages here. And that is not where you want to be taking an engagement. He needs to get back to somewhere a little bit more defensible. Away from this ramp, good concave, decent force fields, but not good enough. The Vikings moving in, they are going to get taken down by all these Stalkers though. I don't know how this fight is going to go. There's still a lot of sentries there. Nathan's army is getting picked up. The 2 Colossus still alive at this point, and they're doing so much damage. There just aren't enough Vikings, and it looks to me like Nathan is about to get his arsehole kicked in. GG comes out from
That was
Nifty Nathan.
beautiful force fields.
Wow. And Resolve takes this series to 1-1, which means we have a deciding best of 3. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back shortly with game number 3.